What's up mga kuya? Welcome back to the channel, and yes, today I have with me is the POCO M3 Pro. So this will be my unboxing and first impressions of it. And ayun nga, kahapon nga lang dumating to mga kuya. Masasabi ko na lang finally, after a very long time of waiting, ngayon na nga siya. And if you watch my previous video, which you can watch right here actually, then you'll find out why this came in so late. But yeah, I was able to buy this at the launch for the early bird price of $7,490, which came included again with the Mi Band 5, which is just an insane value. And I feel like that early bird price is going to be its sale price, although without the freebie of the Mi Band 5 anymore. Ano kasi naswerte? Baka naman masyado malugi ang POCO or Xiaomi. But yeah mga kuya, if I'm not mistaken, this is the cheapest 5G phone right now. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. And I'm sorry to say this, but I think 5G is kinda overhyped or overrated right now in my opinion. Well, at least here in the Philippines, I think 5G is kinda overhyped. And you can watch my live stream here on why I think 5G is overhyped. So what I have with me is the 4GB 64GB variant and the power black color option of the POCO M3 Pro. I have some stickers, usual books and shits, and the soft clear TPU case, which most likely I'm going to use right away since you'll see in quite a bit. So really simple. And here we have the POCO M3 Pro itself. So here are the main specs. So MediaTek Dimensity 700 with 5G, dual 5G on both the SIM slots, 90Hz, 6.5-inch Full HD IPS LCD display, 5000 mAh battery with 18 watts of fast charging, and a 48 megapixel sensor on a triple camera setup. And here we have the Type-C to Type-A charging cable, and the wall charger that's capable of a max output of 22.5 watts with a European plug. So design-wise, right out the box, this is a real glossy plastic back. I mean, they pretty much nailed the design here on the regular POCO M3. I'm not sure why they went for a plastic glossy back. I mean, I don't mind that it's plastic, just don't make it a glossy finish. With the regular POCO M3, this is still a plastic back, yes, but it's a faux leather finish, so it's fairly scratch resistant and kind of a head scratcher why POCO made this a glossy finish even though it's plastic. Again, like I said time and time again, if you're gonna put a plastic back on a phone, which I don't mind, then just put something like this. Again, a textured, fairly scratch-resistant back, also like what Xiaomi did with the Redmi 9T. So again, to every company out there, if you're going to put a plastic back on a phone, especially on a budget phone, then embrace it. Don't fake it to look like glass. And that is why for the 1 week that I'm going to be using the POCO M3 Pro for my review, I'm going to be using this soft clear TPU case. So again, what I have with me is the power black color option, also available in a blue and POCO yellow option, which is originally what I wanted, but it wasn't available on launch. So yeah, we have the POCO branding here, designed by POCO, the triple camera setup in a not so intrusive camera bump, so I don't mind that, and a 5G logo here. And I'm happy to report that the sides of the phone, the plastic frame is not a glossy finish. So very nice on that. A flat power button / fingerprint scanner on the right side, the same with the regular POCO M3, and volume rockers, which are fairly clicky. On the left side, we have the SIM card tray. On the top, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, which I would have preferred to be at the bottom, but oh well. An IR blaster, and I think one sacrifice POCO made here with the POCO M3 Pro is that this is, I think, just a single speaker system, so not a stereo setup, just like with the regular POCO M3, but we'll find out in a bit. And at the bottom, we have the main microphone, USB Type-C charging port, and the bottom firing speaker. And actually, it seems we have a pre-installed plastic screen protector, so I'm just gonna remove that right away. I don't like that shit. And of course, at the front, the 6.5-inch 1080p display with a hole punch for the front-facing camera. And really, the only thing design-wise that I don't like about the POCO M3 Pro is that, again, this is a glossy plastic back. Again, I don't mind that it's plastic. Sorry pa ulit-ulit, pero Yeah, a real head scratcher Poco. And of course, here's the full spec list. You guys can just pause the video. But for now, I'm gonna boot this up, set it up, and come back to you guys with my first impressions. A few moments later, at nagbabalik na nga po tayo mga kuya. So I've set up the POCO M3 Pro and of course installed Genshin Impact for a quick gaming test. So right now this at low settings at 60 FPS and you're able to play it smoothly for the most part. Although I was actually expecting to run this smoothly at medium settings, but it's actually not able to handle Genshin Impact at medium settings at 60 FPS. Although something like my Redmi Note 10 Pro can actually handle it, even though the MediaTek Dimensity 700 in here has a higher Antutu benchmark score. So I'm blaming it mostly why this can't handle Genshin Impact at medium settings at 60 FPS is because the Dimensity 700 is a fairly new chipset. So yeah, hopefully in the 1 week that I'm going to be using this, this will have a software update. So currently it's at MIUI 12.0.2 running Android 11. And as I suspected, a compromise that POCO made here on the M3 Pro is that it's only a single bottom firing speaker. So you won't be able to find a dual stereo speaker setup here.
Hey, what's up? I'm KBHD here, and it is that time of year where we've got a new version of Android and all the fun stuff that comes with it. Now, we usually have a name for the version as well. It's usually named after a sweet, like marshmallow or Kit Kat or Oreo, jelly bean, something like that.
So yeah, you can easily block it. But in terms of overall performance, it seems to be solid for the most part, like really smooth. Of course, combined with a 90Hz display, Dimensity 700 paired with UFS 2.2, it's actually a really smooth experience considering this is just a budget price phone, under 10,000 pesos or $200 US. And if I'm not mistaken, there's actually no smartphone right now for under $200 with a 90Hz display. And I was actually surprised that I was able to tell the difference between 90Hz and 120Hz. So when I first set this up to 90Hz, it actually felt not that smooth compared to 120Hz. I mean, it's still significantly smoother, of course, compared to 60Hz. I'm not going back to that shit. But yeah, just something that I noticed. And of course, I won't be sharing with you guys my thoughts and opinion on the camera quality on the POCO M3 Pro, but here are a few test shots. And yeah, this is what it looks like with the soft clear TPU case on. And like I mentioned earlier, I'll be using the POCO M3 Pro in the soft clear TPU case because I feel like this plastic glossy back will scratch easily. So actually no doubt about that. And so far, build quality is solid, of course, with a 5000 mAh battery reinforcing the phone. Like I said, design wise, the only thing that I don't like about the POCO M3 Pro is that this is a glossy plastic finish. So yeah. And if you remember, I actually mentioned that I was planning on doing a comparison video on the POCO M3 Pro and regular POCO M3, but I feel like that's not necessary, as the only advantage that the regular POCO M3 has over the POCO M3 Pro is a bigger battery, like 6000 milliamps and 5000 milliamps. That's the only thing you need to know in comparing the regular POCO M3 and the POCO M3 Pro. And take note that the MSRP of the POCO M3 Pro right now is 8,990 for the 4GB 64GB variant, which is again what I have with me, and 11,990 for the 6GB 128GB variant, which is, well, I'm going to be talking about this more after 1 week again, along with my full thoughts on the POCO M3 Pro. Of course, if you want to buy this right now, then I'll leave the links in the description, and I'll be putting my smart SIM in here since, well, Globe basically sucks in our area. But yeah, that's gonna do it for my unboxing and first impressions on the POCO M3 Pro. As always, leaving a like is the easiest way to support the channel. Consider subscribing if you like my content, and turn on notifications so we can balance this out. As always, stay safe mga kuya. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!